You never know. I mean, if the diamond on Uzi's head really is a work, then that's like it don't look that Photoshop. Like from the first pictures that we have seen of it, they were kind of blurry. But oh my gosh, yeah. So this tweet was I mean, we could intro episode number 28. 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, episode number 28. It's your boy at Nico Still Apex, Wax Teller, Nugs Bunny, Scotty Rippin, Chief Keef, George W. Cush, all that dumb shit. Follow me everywhere. Follow the Struggle for Success podcast on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube. I'm here with the homie Banks. You know the vibes. We always here.
Absolutely. You already know where to follow me at. Well, don't follow me on Twitter because right now I'm suspended till Sunday.
And you got that. You got that. They gave you that. That. It's not the bad. I guess it's not the. They shadow banned you. I guess. Because it's like, the suspended. It's not like the suspended that coach got. Where, like, you go on your account and it's literally like, this account does not exist. You feel me? So you just got a little temporarily.
Bro, but I'm hot because all the funny stuff been happening the past couple of days.
Yeah, there's been a lot of funny shit happening. So going back to the Uzi thing, this was like 3 days ago. Somebody leaked like a screenshot of the the picture. It was a screenshot of him on FaceTime with somebody else, and the caption was like, "Yeah, little bro wildin' or something like that. That shit worth 24 mil." And then there wasn't really until like today, I guess, or yesterday. You didn't really see like videos of it, of the actual diamond in his forehead until like people put like on their IG story like him in the studio recording and like listening to snippets and all that. That shit is nuts, man. But this tweet is from literally 12 minutes ago. It says, "If I don't get it took out the right way, I could die." No, seriously. So like, with that being said, bro, this man Uzi is he's trying to be Vision. You've seen the Vision jokes all over the TL. Somebody tweeted they were like, take a shot every time you see the Vision meme on the TL. That shit was
Yeah,
hilarious.
everybody tweeted about it.
Hey, now that we're here, we're about to have the homie Chloe hotline on the pod. We were gonna have her in a couple more weeks before her album dropped, which is February 26th. Instinct, go get that when it drops. We about to have her on right now because she does have a couple things to say about the Uzi stuff. But yeah, before I say how I feel about it, Banks, do you have like a take on it?
I don't think that blood is real, bro. I'm looking at this shit like first 48. Like, I'm really looking at it like, bro, is that real blood? Because this whole picture looked like a cartoon. I mean, my
He
question is, how do you get that staple to your head? Like, he thought he was an ECW worker.
like, did they have to like, when you like fucking when you dig up a coffin, when you like dig up a coffin, you make a hole and then you put the coffin in, like, and then you fill that bitch. Is that what they did to his head? They took out like a piece of skin, and then they just like put like a little magnet piece in there, and then had like the little magnet piece behind the fucking diamond. Like, this is the weirdest shit ever, bro. And I doubt we'll get like an in-depth thing on how you do this stuff. I hope more people
Uh,
don't do this. This is dumb as shit.
they super glued it to his head.
I'm a Uzi fan, um, but this is stupid as fuck. I'm not gonna cap. If we're gonna be honest, like,
It's
first
like
of
in the frontal lobe of his brain. Like, he damn
yeah,
right if it don't get taken out the right way, he could die.
and he's saying like, yeah, exactly what he was just saying. Like, somebody finna headbutt his ass. He finna accidentally bump his head on something. It's clips. It's
Yeah.
literally clips.
If he touched that diamond, his head might explode.
Motherfucker gotta walk around with a football helmet now.
No, you can't put anything. He can't put a hat on. He can't put a damn kufi on. He can't do anything.
And it's like, it's stupid because it's like, as dangerous as the rap game is, as dangerous as the rap game is today, you just gonna make it even harder for yourself by putting a $24 million diamond in the middle of your forehead. Like, you just asking for some dumb shit.
Yeah, because all somebody gotta do is they ain't gotta stick you up. They just gonna bop the back of your head and probably hope it
Like,
just pop out.
like that
Right.
shit is that shit is you literally putting a target on yourself. And to tell people the price of the diamond makes it even worse. Like, I know it's a flex, but it's like motherfuckers barely get that much robbing banks. Like, you literally gotta walk up to this man.
Man,
Like,
why Future don't help out his young boys, man?
yeah, like, did anybody talk to him before he did this, or it was just Eliante
No.
all in his head, like, yo, they're gonna love this. This is gonna go crazy.
I feel like JT Finance told him to do it.
Fuck
I don't know
Eliante,
why.
by the way, because, like, man, first of all, like, Uzi got this from Sauce Walker. He got the diamond thing from Sauce Walker because there's no other person. I mean, they were saying Lil B had some shit where he had like a diamond on his forehead or whatever. But
It's like the little Indian joint. He thought he was
mm-hmm.
in the lead, but that was like a little pearl. It was something like a little, that store. What's the store called? Sephora in the mall. Where you get like a
Sephora.
little piercing. That's what he had.
That's funny. Yo, it's like, I guess technically he didn't start because like he didn't get it encrusted into his forehead. Like, it was just there for a video or some shit. Like, this
That's
is
what I'm saying. But this is engraved in this man's skull. So
He literally seen the video of Sauce Walker going crazy at that jeweler with the diamond like on his cheek and shit. Uzi saw it like, you know what, I gotta one up him.
imagine going to the emergency room during the Rona era and saying, "Can you remove this diamond?" No, sir. We don't have any beds left.
This diamond's gonna be the reason I have Alzheimer's in 10 years. Is it alright if I
10
get
in 2 days. His
it?
brain, that brain ooze just gonna start coming out his head. He gonna turn into a zombie.
he just tweeted, I'm literally trying to turn into a diamond.
You about to turn into a fossil fuel, big fella. You about to go home.
Imagine somebody start a fight at one of his concerts and somebody goes, hey yo, grab the pliers real quick. Like, what the fuck finna happen then, bro?
Gee, all you need is chopsticks to take that out. It's like literally about to fall out his head any moment, and then all the brain leak is just gonna come out at the same time.
I can't wait for them to start making pink diamond little Uzi cards in NBA 2K, bro. That shit finna go crazy. They're
Oh, he
finna
about,
give him Muggsy Bogue stats.
if he
Bro,
don't go to the hospital,
that shit
he
is.
definitely about to be a card. He about to be on the obituary, big fella. I don't think your brain's supposed to leak like that. You might want to go to the
That
hospital
blood
ASAP.
was that blood was looking nuts. Um,
That's what I'm saying.
I think we got the homie Chloe in here. I sent her the
Okay.
link. What is good?
Yo, yo.
What's up? What's up? We got Chloe Hotline here. I
What's
gave her a
going
little
on?
I gave her a little intro before, but if you want to intro yourself,
Yes, me is Chloe Hotline, aka Bigchloe from the 513. You understand me? And yeah, I'm on here. I'm on the podcast this week. One of my favorite podcasts, honestly. Yeah. I don't be fucking with them other podcasts like that.
yeah, I I found out about Chloe through like Eric's YouTube live streams. You
Mm-hmm.
know, she was saying funny shit most of the time, and she was putting a lot of people in their place, like a lot of incels in their place. So I was like, all right, it's fire. And then I follow her on Instagram, and I go through the story, and I'm like, I just seen the screenshot of our pod. I was like, oh, this is fire. I was like, all right, you listen, this is new. I forgot what episode it was, but yeah, that's Chloe Hotline. You know, she got an album coming out February 26th.
Yep,
It's
February 26th, the
yes,
takeover.
yes, sir. We were just so lucky to get the album a little bit early,
Mm-hmm.
and wow, yeah, I guess before we get into anything else, I actually did want to talk about the album. You know, everything's done by you.
Yes,
production
every
and all
single
that
thing.
shit.
Yeah, like a lot of people be asking me, "Oh, who makes the beats? Oh, who is this just you, or did you do it all?" And every single time, I'm like, "Yeah, that's 100% me."
Yeah, that's crazy because a lot of these beats are good. The second track, I think it's called Tallulah.
Yeah,
Wow. The beat to that, I was like, damn. I was driving because I like first listening to albums like in the car and shit. I like giving it a car test. If not, I'll just put in the AirPods and shit like that. But I heard that, I'm like, the intro is great. I'm like, the intro is dead ass song. And then I heard the beat to the second one. I was like, no way. And then I hear the girls you talk about nothing. I was like, damn, this shit is slapping, bro. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo. And then I ran through it. I listened to it 1.5 times because we had to record. So I was in the middle of listening to it. The last track is crazy. The last
oh
track is
yeah,
nuts. I love when the outro track, it reminded me of like Last Call. Like, I love the long outro track to just, send the album off. I think it was like 6 minutes, the last song on it.
yeah. And what's crazy is about that. A lot of people don't know this. Technically, that's a hidden track. Like that's a whole. That song has a whole nother title. It's crazy.
That yeah, with that. Also the features, there was a both the features on Madden '08. Wow.
Yeah. Keyshawn, he's an artist from Pensacola. Shout out Pensacola, Joe from RAOP. But yeah, he's an artist from Pensacola, born and raised in Texas though, and he's somebody I've been close with online since about 2018. And the other feature, Juwan Briggs, that is my brother, and he plays defensive line at the University of Cincinnati. So, niggas, look out for him.
Wow.
He might be in the NFL soon. So, and he can't like because when he transferred colleges, he heard me playing Madden '08 because after he transferred colleges, he was at the house at the house I lived at with my parents for a minute, and
Yeah.
he heard Madden '08. He was like, "Man, let me hop on this." So he has a whole verse, but I chopped it up to make it sound like kind of like a Timberland thing, and he doesn't even know he's on the album.
Wow, so it's about to be surprising.
And
That's pretty cool.
my oldest sister, she's on Madden '08 too. She's an electrical engineer. She was the only black woman to graduate in her class, but so it's a whole lot of family, within the project. I got my brother Malik on the first song, for a couple 4 bars. I'm producing his whole tape. It's just in
He's
Titmouse.
he's the one that I'm pretty sure you like y'all be in the studio together just like freestyling and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I've seen a couple of videos of y'all like freestyling, just fucking around and shit.
Yeah, that's like my brother. That's been my brother since I was like 14, and me and him like just going back and forth the music thing because like we was young, like wasn't nobody really as serious about music in high school except for us. So we would get clown, like people would laugh at us like, "Oh, y'all making music, y'all skipping class to go make music." And we like, hell yeah, like we don't even want to be there.
And you said you started making music like fairly young and shit.
I put out my first tape when I was 6 years old. So you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's been a lot of trial and error with this. So I'm finally at a point where I've been doing it for what? Like how long? Like 12 years. So I'm finally at a point where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take all the influences from my childhood and embody it into one project because like this whole process with this project was me just literally being up in this attic space where I sleep at, me just, listening to all the shit, feeling nostalgic, listening to all the shit I came up on, listening to new shit, just getting inspired. So
That's crazy because I really do get like a I don't like shit. I don't go outside like
Mm-hmm.
vibe off of it. Because when I first listened to it through, I'm like, it sound like somebody who ready to just break out to show
mm,
you everything. I'm ready to experiment. I'm ready to do this, that. It was like, honestly, it was first hearing it was like the first time I listened to Wolf in full by
I'm
Tyler.
trying Like no shade, but I'm trying to show niggas that, you know what I'm saying, I have the potential to be like the one of the best artists to ever do it. Because I know, like, especially in this era, there's a lot of motherfuckers who 6 months, 1 year, 2 year. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 12-year vet at this point. I'm Tom Brady at this shit. But nobody but nobody knows because my music just now started getting an audience, which is really crazy. Like COVID,
Mhm.
a lot of motherfuckers' careers suffered during COVID, but I just went up and up and up, and it's just like I don't want to say I'm thankful for COVID, but that shit definitely helped my career. Motherfuckers are stuck in the house, and it's like, oh, it ain't shit else to listen to. Let's check out this Chloe Hotline album with some mannequins on the cover. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
exactly. But like, I always like to ask people like, if being quarantined helps you artistically or it hurts you.
like,
So
so when it comes to that, like honestly, I wasn't partying, I wasn't doing anything else anyway. Like I'd just be up here, you know what I'm saying, when I wasn't working at Long John Silver's.
oof.
I'd be up here, you know what I'm saying, just cooling out, you know what I'm saying, thinking to myself, thinking about making a beat, or I'm writing a script, or I'm trying to test out animation or something. Just
Yeah.
like really, really using my time. Right. And this album, like the whole story behind this album is crazy. I don't want to be too long, but basically my last project, Cynthia, I by the time May came around, I felt like it was a failure. Like it came out March 20th, right when everything got locked down.
Yeah.
So I'm in the crib just like fucked up, like damn, like this project is a failure, like fuck. So May, I start working on new shit. The song with the guitar solo was the first song to get done for the album in May, but it had a different beat. It had a more like Neptune's for real type vibe. I might release that version one day, but
Mhm.
yeah, like someone was the first song. Um, and then Beach House came around that same time, but Beach House was originally over. I sampled "Poppin' Tags" by Jay Z and put like some hard drums under it. It was
That's,
originally
oh my god. I was trying to think about it. I don't like, you know how people be like talking about sample snitching and all that. I
yeah.
wanted to ask, but I didn't know if I was gonna ask on the pod and shit. I
Oh,
was like,
you could ask about some of the songs, but not all of them, because some of them like the sample on Potent. Yeah, she like if she finds out, she gonna come for my ass because she's like active on Twitter. If this
yeah.
shit blow up and she gets to hear like, and if Potent is in her like, you know what I'm saying, radius, I don't want to hear that shit.
One of my favorite songs on here is "Lost in the Sun."
Ooh yeah, that's um that's my homegirl Jazz who helped me executive produce the album. That's her favorite too. Like that one, man, that song feels like riding around Cincinnati in the spring. Like I tried to get it to
Mm-hmm.
feel like, you know, just I try to get it to feel like to still go with the theme of the album, but it feels like you're like 10 years old, you know what I'm saying, in the back of the car just riding on a nice spring day, like ain't shit to worry about. Like, but when you hear the lyrics to the song, it's like, oh shit. Like, what I said, the trauma turned children into bosses and they expect us to be flawless. Like that's that's a real ass line right there. Like
Which do you remember um which song? Because since I've only ran through it once, like I remember the line off the top of my head. You said God forgives, but I'm feeling like Rick Ross.
oh yeah, that's on Michigan. That's that video comes out on Friday actually. But yeah,
That
that's
was
on
definitely the hook to Michigan and everything is clean. Like
man, Michigan, okay. Michigan, this is I'm about to give up the sauce. Michigan is me trying to emulate early Lady Gaga and 808's Kanye in one song with my own weird little spin on it. Like
yeah,
that's literally it. Like that's the formula to Michigan right
that shit
there.
is that like when I said before, like it was like the first time I'm listening to Wolf. it's like when you listen to Wolf, like Tyler's talk is literally just talking about like do it everything himself. Like this is all me. What you're hearing is all of me. Like, and I'm gonna start just branching out. Like this is when you hear Wolf, you're like, damn, like he really going like go somewhere different. Like he's not gonna stay on that like goblin shit. You feel me?
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of people are gonna expect this project to sound like the last one, you know, more dark, more simple drums. But I really wanted to like make it sound more rich in a way, you know, like bring my sound up a little bit.
Mm. I think was friction just like a single? Was just one that you just wanted to throw out there? Because friction
uh,
friction definitely one of my favorites from you.
friction,
Hmm.
friction is gonna be on the physical versions of the album. Like it's
Okay.
gonna be on the it's gonna like I have some more content I'm gonna put out with this. Like there's an Instinct DVD, which is like a documentary of how I made the shit. And there's gonna be bonus tracks on like the expanded. I don't like a lot of people do deluxes and shit. Nah, fuck that. It's the expanded edition. Like you pay a little bit more, you get two more songs. So Friction is a part of that, and there's one more unreleased song that's crazy. But
Like with deluxes nowadays, you know that it feels like a money grab. Like it just feels like throwaways that they're just gonna put on there to get streaming numbers up. Like I feel like with this, the songs feel like they're part of the album. You know.
yeah, like and then like the sequencing of it, like how when Tallulah ends, it has the same sound from Lost in the Sun, or like how Beach House goes into Someone because they're the same key. It's little shit like attention to detail that because I really wanted this to sound like an album. Like I really wanted this to sound like a cohesive, like real, like project.
Project. Yep. Project body of work. You know.
And I feel I'm still kind of nervous about it. I don't know if people are gonna fuck with it or not. Like this shit, I always like I be thinking to myself like if this shit like fails, then I'm fucked. But like
And it's like you could tell the difference because like when an artist puts like their debut, like you obviously wouldn't say it's your debut because you've been doing this for so long, but it's like
but like I've been doing it for long, but this is I've been promoting it as my debut album, quote unquote. But I've been making music for so long. I got like 15 debut albums.
that's like some Conway shit. Conway be saying every album his debut project.
Nah. Now
That
this is the independent debut, the major label debut. Hopefully that comes
yeah.
one.
I'm like with that, some artists could say that it's their album, but it literally like I still like to equate like the difference between albums and like mixtapes. Now it's just all one and the same because everything just gets put on streaming. You feel me?
Yeah, I tried to sequence this like an album. Like it starts off with fucking Chico Bean saying Cincinnati was good and the car
Yeah.
was slamming like this shit. I'm trying to bring people to I'm trying to bring people to my life. Like this is what it's like being trapped in the house on the east side of Cincinnati and you're like a creative motherfucker. Like this is the track, this is the soundtrack to that. This is the soundtrack to like creative release.
For anybody that hasn't been to Cincinnati and wouldn't be able to guess what it's like, is it any different from you know a major city? Is it a major city?
Yeah, Cincinnati is most definitely a major city. I'm gonna say this right. It's most definitely a melting pot because Chicago is 3 hours away. Atlanta is 6 hours away. The DMV is 6 hours away. New York and all that is like 10. So it's easy to come, you know what I'm saying, to Cincinnati. But I kind of feel like it's a big city, but nobody really acknowledges that because they just think the state of Ohio and all is big cornfield or like shithole. So
Yeah.
like it's a lot of like people I'll say this though, people from here always complain and say, oh, it's not shit to do, da 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 da. Like I don't know, like me personally, like I've seen other cities. I've seen Detroit, I've seen Indianapolis, I've seen Chicago, you know, just being young and bouncing around a little bit. Like it's nothing like home. It's nothing like where you're from. Like a lot of people I can tell, they really haven't really left the state like that because they don't like you gotta have some love for your hometown. Like you gotta
Exactly.
like it's some shit that I love about Cincinnati that I couldn't get that experience anywhere else. Like it, like this is more recently, but like randomly like warm days in October, like a 98-degree day in October. That's only some Cincinnati shit. Unless you live down south or you live on the West Coast, a random ass 98-degree day in October is hit different in Cincinnati after a whole bunch of fucking trees falling and shit, and it just it's just certain shit like the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I wasn't always appreciative of where I was from. You know what I'm saying? I was like everybody else before, like, oh Cincinnati and shit. But
Yep.
nah, like there's a culture that a lot of people don't acknowledge, and I'm trying to build back up. You know, the music scene because everybody who's in the music scene now is starting to age out a little bit. They're getting into their mid 20s. You know, like they're starting to age out a little bit 24, 25, and there's like a group of young kids, you know what I'm saying, like 16, 17, 18, making like hard ass like melodic shit in the city. But what we're missing is organization and structure. Like we're all clicked up, like me. If we went to middle school with all these people, you know what I'm saying, like me and Mook
Yeah.
in the corner, it's these dudes, so shiny, they're in another corner, like um this kid Bullet, he in another corner, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know.
But before we get back to the music, how is the COVID out there?
It's not as bad as like Georgia or Texas, but motherfuckers just don't like to listen. You feel me? Like anytime I go out, you know what I'm saying, to get groceries, it's at least one person with their mask on their chin. It's usually like an older white person. You feel me? So like it's up and down. Like one day cases will be rising, you know what I'm saying? One day it'll just be static. You know, I'm just hoping that this shit like they figure out something. Cause I know what they're gonna try to do this summer, like make us all forget about it so they can get revenue from the summer events and shit. But like I really hope there's like a real, you know what I'm saying, end to this. Cause I don't want to spend my 19 early 20s fucked up in the crib. Yeah, I did that for my whole teenage years. Like,
Yeah, it's starting to feel like that. I mean, it's only been like the past. It's going to be like a year, obviously, but I can't say like I've never been to a club. Like I've never been to a club, so it's like, will I even experience it by the time I get to 30? Like shit,
right,
that
same.
shit
Like,
different.
and I'm just thinking about how like Jeremy life was before, like people, you know what I'm saying, just doing drugs with strangers in the bathroom.
That shit is different.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in like the little LGBT community, like that rave shit, like motherfuckers nasty as hell in there. Talking about fucking raw, doing ketamine off each other's hands, you feel me? They was in there getting nasty before COVID. Like
Mm, that's like that shit is different. It does like we will get like crazy diseases, but like this one literally like fucked up our sports, entertainment, music, movies,
right.
mental health, social lives, relationships, families. Like people still dying off this shit. Like it's that shit is
Like
nuts.
I might not even
Nothing.
be like
It seems like there's still people that say that they're up or whatever, and all that, because it is different. It is kind of easier to make a bag in the pandemic depending on how you're able to work the internet.
mm, literally during the pandemic, I went from I went from 600 followers on Twitter to like 1.3K because
Nice.
every week, especially during the summer, I was dropping something. I was dropping. If you go look at my YouTube, like I didn't built up a little catalog. Like I
Hmm.
was dropping videos in the summer, like back to back to back almost. Cause like I was talking about before, I gave up on Cynthia, the project before. It was like this predecessor. I gave up on that project, but I just decided to make a video for one of the songs off there. And I did that, and then after that, I just started getting all types of looks. People were starting to review that album. People were starting to listen to that album more. Like I made my first real money off music. Like it was really like a good, moment for
Yeah.
me. It kind of like I'll admit it kind of died down. It's kind of like going like the closer I get to the album, like the more people are tweeting like it's Chloe season, like. But it's really hard to build that up though. Like,
It's it's I mean, I can't say nothing because I'm not an artist, but I mean, with the podcast shit, I mean, it is obviously different. You know, consistency is the big thing, and it's like I've seen a lot of people like be quiet during this quarantine, which is crazy, which I didn't really expect. Artist
yeah,
wise.
like a lot of kind of the like, what I'm saying, not big artists, but like mid level artists. I don't want to say B list, but a lot of them have been like quiet. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's just like, yo, like, what were you doing during this whole pandemic? Like, we haven't really seen any like. I don't want to put them on the spot, but you really haven't seen no Migos music in the pandemic. They dropped the one single with NBA
With
YoungBoy.
NBA, great song
Yeah,
by the way. Great
yeah,
song by the way.
amazing song. And it's just kind of been like quiet for them like after that. So I don't know if everybody's restructuring or trying to figure out how to go into it, but me as an independent artist, I am taking advantage of this shit for real.
Mm,
Like it's
that's
oh
no,
I was
no.
gonna
What were you saying? My bad.
I was gonna say it's kind of like how right now it's kind of like how it was like 10 years ago, where like the game is wide open. This music thing is wide open. It's anybody could become a goat. Like
Because for the
it's
past couple, like not the past couple years, I feel like it was just these certain people that were at this pedestal, and it was like nobody else was moving like that. I feel, you know, but with I don't want to say because like SoundCloud and shit like that, because people are gonna talk about the SoundCloud rappers and how they came up and all that other shit.
yeah, like no, like it's not really nobody who is like how they say like the big three, like Drake, Kendrick, Cole. Nobody has really, what I'm saying, like nobody
Eh,
has really came to that point in their career yet where they're solidified, like that 2015 point where they're solidified and like they have a back catalog and they're still young. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody, no, it's not any artist right now who's really got to that point yet.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like imagine being at this point and there was no streaming services. Like we were just still doing it like the iTunes way. Well,
Yeah,
people like were doing like the casual people were doing it that way. Everybody
yeah.
else is still going to get them zips and them raw files and all that shit.
That's
You
that's
know,
literally that's literally the era I came from. And like that's crazy because a lot of people, like we were talking about this before on Clubhouse, like a lot of people in my age range, like they didn't start really paying attention to music until 2015 or 2016. But like so the whole backstory of me being like super internet savvy young is like my dad, he had a job and they would just like give him a computer like, oh, this shit don't work no more. Take it. And he'd come back and fix them shits up. And we'd be on there playing flash games and watching YouTube and listening to music, whatever. Like like that's really what like being on the internet like really sparked my creativity. I'm like, you could listen to any song like in the world. You just look it up. I've been on some weird sites looking for some music, and I have definitely got some porn viruses looking for some music.
yeah, for real. Like I remember back because I graduated like 2014, so I remember having a I didn't even have an iPhone at the time, but I had an iPod, and I don't think I had any phone at the time. I'm not gonna cap from like 10th to 12th grade. I didn't have a phone, But I
Damn.
had an iPod and I had Wi-Fi at the crib. So back then there was like those music downloading apps in the app
Oh
store,
yeah,
and it was like you could if it was free you could download like a certain amount of songs, and then they would cap you at that. Or if you paid for it, you get like an unlimited amount of downloads. And then
right.
the best part was like the layout to those apps was like you had the downloaded files and you had the whatever, and then you could access Safari, like internet from that app, and just download it straight from that app. Download the music straight from the internet in that shit, and straight to your music player on the app, on the physical app and shit.
Yeah, that's definitely like the era that I'm from. I'm from, plugging up your device to the computer to get music on it.
Like I was a like I didn't have a family computer, but it's like my brother had like a tablet. Like there wasn't no like because my mom and stepdad weren't really fucking with her like that. So it's like I remember just having just whatever I was finding off the internet was off this little iPod Touch I had at the time, and that shit was like I was like broke, so I wasn't buying no apps or nothing. I was using the apps that would be like 15 songs. You have a 15 song max, so I would download like 8 songs that I really fuck with, and then like the rest were literally like 7 zip files of full albums, and then I would literally go through. This is like my 90s hip hop head phase. I would literally just every other day I would download like 4 or 5 different like 90s like hip hop albums. Like one day it would be uh like fucking it would be like 2 Tribe albums, and then it would be like one Sean Price, I mean like one Helter Skelter album, and then one fucking like Pharoah Monch album. Like every other day I was just educating myself on 90s hip hop. Cause like it was kind of dry around that time. That was like 2012, 2013.
Mhm.
Like 13, 14 it was building up, but like 2011, 2012 it was for me. I was I was fucking with Chief Keef, but I was leaning more towards that. Like I wanted to hear like Section 80 shit.
Yeah, like I definitely had my old school like hip hop phase and shit. But I was more about learning about it and not about the music so much because like I ain't gonna lie, like love Nas to death. But the first time I heard Illmatic, like I got bored. I'm like, I'm not trying. I'm sorry, I'm young, y'all. I'm young as hell. I got bored. I was just like, man, fuck. Like I'm trying to make myself understand why this is so important. You know what I'm saying?
Old heads was going crazy when Lonzo Ball was like, I don't be listening to Nas, I'll be listening to Drake, Migos, Future. They was on his head about that shit. I'm like, this man was 18 years old at the time, 17 years old. You really think he gonna be fucking? You be in the crib listening to Clement, bro?
Yeah. Now they like, now like some of the like I remember they were interviewing like NBA draftees or something. That's like, oh, what's this '90s group like? Of course they don't know that shit because they were not paying attention to music and media at that age. You know what I'm saying? They were focused on basketball or whatever the fuck, shitting in their drawers. You know what I'm saying? Like kid shit.
And it was until like 15 and 16 when like Apple Music and Spotify really, like, it was Spotify first, and then Apple Music came right after that shit.
Yeah.
And then everybody knew everything there was about hip hop according to Twitter and shit like that.
Yeah, a lot of people became like what
But it's
LeBron said
like
he was hip hop historian. A lot of people became hip hop historians after that.
that's what I'm saying, and that's like, but you wasn't there. You wasn't watching closely when Kanye and 50 was feuding in '07 over who was finna have the better album.
Right.
You
Like,
that shit different.
yeah. And like with this project, I kind of wanted to bring people I wanted to bring that mid 2000s, early tens feel, but with the new shit. Because it just like how it was 10 years ago. It was a lot of genre blending. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, wonky collabs, like, pop singers like pop singers working with the baby and shit like that. Like a lot of that stuff was going, like a lot of the same stuff was going on 10 years ago. Only difference is we're in a more fast paced microwave type era. So the good shit doesn't really stick to the mainstream like that.
I feel like albums don't. Everybody says this, but it's like, everybody has that 2016 phobia. Like, oh, I want to go back to 2016. Oh, I miss 2016.
Yeah, I
Like,
do not have that.
I mean, I could say because that was. Nah, I'm gonna incriminate myself on the pod, but 2016 was fire. But I really can say like there's only been there's not that there's no albums that have been resonating with me since, because there really has been a few. It's just not as much. Like I feel like there was a lot of really classic projects that were coming out one after another from like 2010 to like 2014. I feel,
Yeah, like
or 15 even.
I feel like I was trying, like I was definitely in the headspace of making this project the one. I feel like everything was low key like practice before this. Like this, like I put in 10,000 hours like during the summer. Then around fall time, I really sat down and started working on this project like for real because I posted a video on Twitter of me making the beat for Potent, and I was like, okay, I need to use this beat some way somehow. It's just too fucking beautiful for me to sell for $30 at the time. So I was like, Potent is probably my favorite song that I've ever made in my entire life.
is that like I wish I could play it now? Is that the one? There's one track that literally, and I don't want to compare to nobody because I hate doing that shit. There was one beat that sounded like a perfect, beautiful Mexico drill beat.
Yes, yes, yes,
That is
yes.
it. I knew it. I knew it. That shit. It's literally like I would have heard Mexico's drop on that shit, like in the
I
beginning of
wanted
it.
I wanted to make the most elegant plug beat and just do some shit nobody's ever done on no plug type production before. Cause I'm
I
hitting runs. I'm doing a poetry session on a fucking plug beat.
I
Like
felt like I would hear like I felt like I was finna hear a plug. I'm like what like, and I had my two other cousins with me. Um one boy and one girl and shit. One's like 15, the other 17. And they're like, Jesus. They're like, she's going, Chris, I've been told them about you. Cause they I got faded one day. I got faded off the Bel Air one day, and I was playing friction like crazy. Cause this one bitch left me on red, yo. I was like, nah, fuck that. You don't even know what you missing. Like I was faded with the bottle in my hand type shit. And I'm like, yo, she made every beat on here. She made every beat on here, yo. And they're like, wow, that's crazy. And then yeah, that I was like, that has to be like Mexico draw influence, because that plug sound is so slept on.
yeah, like I really wanted to show people how crazy like that plug sound can get because like it's been a lot of like like that sound falls in and out of relevancy. You know what I'm saying? In, like the past couple years, but there's always the few people who are still doing it. Mexico Dro is literally like the father of that sound, and Mexico Dro actually is one of the reasons why I never, ever, ever, ever will have weak drums on any of my songs. Like
that's just, that's hilarious.
Mexico Dro, Zaytoven, Kanye, Pharrell, and Kate Bush are the 6 reasons why I will never have weak drums on a song. I've studied their
You
production
gotta
so much, like
you
I
you
can't
gotta
have.
put me on the Kate Bush.
Can't, yeah, she's fire. Like she has an album like entirely produced by Prince called The Red Shoes. It's crazy. Like apparently
Oh
she
nah,
like
I gotta
MIA.
tap in. That's crazy.
Yeah. She has another album called what is it? Hounds of Love. It's crazy too. That's like her biggest shit. But I don't know. She's like 56 now. She's like MIA. Like nobody knows where Shorty is at.
Mm.
But Shout out to Kate Bush. I'm the black Kate Bush.
That's the Twitter. That was the Twitter name, right? That was the
Yeah,
Twitter name before. Okay.
because like she was making her own beats. You know what I'm saying? Doing legendary shit at such a young age, and a lot of motherfuckers was getting mad at me like, you can bang yourself, you can't bet the like. I'm not trying to hear that shit, man. I'm just making music.
A lot of great producers were so quiet. Like there are those producers that rap on their beats, and there's like there's some that just stay, you know,
Yeah.
like Mexico. I can't say that for him because he's a good rapper too.
Oh,
Like
most
he's a
definitely.
great rap. He dropped a tape like a couple months ago, and it had like I guess it was like I forgot the name of it, but it had a song first made the news and shit.
Oh yeah, first made the news is crazy.
That whole tape is ridiculous. Like there's no skips on that shit.
For real.
Like to hear him rap, like he has a great voice for rapping. Like he has that hood ass voice. It's like Young Nudie with more bass.
Right.
Like
Like relating that back to my project, it's like I don't think a lot of people know that I produce every single thing I'm on. And like I'm trying hopefully this shit because I want to produce for other people so bad. Like people just don't be fucking with me on the production side, and I don't know why. Like literally.
it's weird
It's
because some beats, like I think I tweeted you once. One of them, like it sounded like Tony Snow, needed to get on that shit, like
yeah,
ASAP.
like I want to make some shit with everybody, but there's a lot of industry politics. One, and me being, you know what I'm saying, the type of person I am, a lot of rappers they get like weirded out. Like, I'm not working with no, I'm not working with no slur. You feel me? So
Oh, that's some SGP shit. That's
yeah,
some SGP shit. Oof, man. SGP, fucking, I don't even know, cause he
look,
probably listening right now, cause he don't be doing shit. You feel me?
what's crazy is like a year ago I had a song produced by SGP. I respected this man so much, but when he decided to come foul and attack me for my appearance, like that's some bitch ass shit, my nigga. You are a decade older than me, fool. Like what are you even? Why are you even like? You should have a life right now. Like you know how many times you could have made a fucking comeback, but instead you chose to be a fucking bum, and that's all you ever gonna be, bitch. I don't care
Hey,
about
Him,
I want to talk about that real quick.
him,
That was some
and
goofy shit. I saw that on Kanye Twitter. That is some goofy shit he said about you though.
damn,
for
you
real.
you tapped into KTT Banks.
I've been on there for about
Yo,
12 years now.
yo, this is the funniest shit ever. Yo, since I had an iPod Touch, I've just I've seen threads on KTT and never even like thought to make an account. Like I've used it to find like links and shit like that and like find out other shit, and I never thought to even make one and like interact and shit like that. And to hear like Eric and like Frosty and y'all talk about it is nuts. And like
Yeah,
Sachi and shit.
I don't say nothing. I just be on some whole shit. I just watch everything. I got a burner account.
Yeah, like, the whole
But
SGP situation.
I saw Chloe on there before. I always see Eric on there
Yeah,
as
he
well.
be saying he run that shit sometimes.
He
Low
probably
key,
do.
he do. Like, yeah, but that's that SGP shit, man. Bro is a loser. Like, I'm, I've been better than this nigga music for a long time. Like, he fell
Yeah.
off like a long time ago. Like, good luck to him in his career in the future. I'm not gonna put him down anymore. But that was what he said. And a lot of rappers always send strays or come foul to like trans people, and it's really fucked up. Like at this point, I feel like niggas is obsessed. Like you don't have
Man.
to send a random shot. Like you know what I'm saying? You don't have to mention it. Like we ain't do nothing. You making the spot hot more for us. You putting us more in danger. You understand? Like
I
this
had
shit
to
is
look
real.
into the like when Sophie passed, which was I think
Rest
it
in
was
peace,
last week.
Sophie.
Um I really had to tap in because what I was saying like about those producers that be on the low, like she definitely I haven't really tapped into her, but I know her like she's done work on Big Fish Theory and other shit like that.
Sophie got a song with Kendrick on it. You know what I'm saying? Like she's legendary. She had a song with Kendrick. She had a song with Vince Staples. You know what I'm saying? Charlie
Vince
XCX.
Staples, Vince Staples really like really like really fucked with her.
Yeah, because like I feel like if you a real nigga, bro, at the end of the day, you're not gonna have no problem with no trans people. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Vince Staples is a prime example of that, and my brother Malik is a prime example of that. They come from the same type of background. You know what I'm saying? But they know not to be ignorant. They know to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? If I tell you, you know what I'm saying, these are my pronouns and this is why I call myself, you should be respectful. Also, the nigga little house phone from No Jumper. I was, you know,
I hate little. I've
I
hated
was
Little House Phone for a while.
so listen. I was just joking in the DM like, oh, you need to get you some bitches, da 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 da. And they said, my nigga, you got a blouse on. And I was like, I'm a woman, lol. And the nigga just seen it and stayed silent. Like niggas just be dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
That man, like 34 years old, bro, still doing cocaine.
Like
Yeah.
it is what it is, bro. Like I low, like I low key like wanted like house phone to model my clothes. You know what I'm saying? But nah,
I can't fuck with him. He was dissing the homie Lil Weege. I fuck with Lil Weege.
that's it's weird. Like that whole LA. That's why I'm kind of like I'm not saying necessarily I'm like I don't ever want to go to LA, but I don't want to be in around the fake celebrity shit.
I don't fuck with anything No Jumper. Fuck everything No Jumper.
I'm saying if I'm in LA, I don't want to be in the fake Hollywood shit. I just want to be dolo somewhere low key. Me and just my team, and we're moving militant from place to place. We not going no fancy mansion part of the shit. I don't want to be a part of none of the fuckery, none of the Hollywood fuckery.
Yeah,
Now,
they
like
fucking LA. It's like they go out there and it's like they think that shit is everything's expensive out there. You know.
the shout out to LA though, I went one time and it blew my mind. I can't even lie. Like I thought I was like I stepped off the plane with jet lag and thought I was in GTA. It was nuts. I'm so serious. Like that's what it. Oh, like this shit is real. Like
This man Banks is from LA and shit, and he's been telling me like since we started talking to each other and shit. He's always been like, bro, you not gonna get like, cause he be seeing me slandering the West Coast sometimes on Twitter and shit. But he's like, bro, you not gonna understand that shit unless you go out there.
yeah, it's crazy. I'm always had respect for LA because LA low key might it might be like the second birthplace of hip hop because like in the 70s they was really on that like they was like 70s early 80s they was really on that like techno shit like dancing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
yeah,
had like funkadelic and shit like that.
oh
That was
yeah.
really helping them mold that sound and shit.
But like when it comes to Cincinnati, like I mean, we got like old like fun shit. Like the Isley brothers are from Cincinnati. Boosie Collins is from Cincinnati.
Wow, Boosie
Like
Collins. Boosie
yeah,
Collins, my favorite, my some of my favorite songs of Boosie Collins, like um, what is it? Uh oh my god, I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you, and
yeah,
you got me wide open off the Friday soundtrack.
yeah, and
Jesus Christ.
like it's a lot of musicians that come from Ohio in general, but just Cincinnati, like Isley brothers, the Ohio players, they were from Dayton, which is like an hour away. It's an hour north. So shout out to Ohio players, you know what I'm saying? Real old player pimp shit.
And Dayton, Dayton was like the hood part. It was like the hoodest part of Ohio. Or am I wrong?
I mean, it's okay. So I say Dayton. Like when it comes to like more small town shit, because Dayton is like a fringe major city. Like it's a major city, but ain't shit going on out there. Like all I have a lot of family from Dayton. I've been in Dayton before. Love it, but it's not really. It's not like Cincinnati. We got baseball, football, a whole bunch of bars and shit. Whatever. Dayton is like it's a just the city, like the big city. Like it has a downtown part. Like that's really all. That's really it. But
That's
it's definitely up there when it comes to like, because it gets bad in the more out there areas and the more rural type areas. Like it gets bad, but Cincinnati, like it has its bad spots too. Like a lot
shit.
of rappers, they're from the west side and shit, and that's kind of where niggas like get busy a lot. But on the east side too, it'd be a lot
That's
of. I was about to say it'd be a lot of weird crimes over here, like motherfuckers walking around naked and shit.
that shit. What was the state that like decriminalized mad drugs? Oh no,
Are you
that's
talking about Oregon?
Oregon. I'm tweaking. That's Oregon. That's not even. That's out there. They're wilding. Like imagine what's going on out there.
Oh yeah, it's probably a bunch of zombies, a bunch of people that look like non-playable characters.
A bunch of people that look like fucking little skies out there. That shit is different. When I didn't really like see where I was in the Bronx, like it was valid. Like it was valid. And then when I went back to Long Island, like it was there's still places out there that like that remind you of like the boroughs, but it's not like it until you get out there.
Mm.
Like it, but motherfuckers be on motherfuckers be fucking with the heroin. They be dying off the fentanyl. Like that shit is crazy out there. And until I moved out to South Carolina, I didn't miss where I was before until like I noticed there was no Spanish food places. There was literally no bodegas. There's like it's trash. Like South Carolina trash.
Yeah, we don't like down here. We don't got bodegas. We got the corner store. Like we got the corner store, and we got or we like we about to go to the gas station. Like
Yeah, we have fucking Speedway, I guess. No, Circle K, Circle K. That's the shit out here. But that's
yeah,
basically Speedway. It's literally a mirror image of how Speedways be. And there are barely 7-Elevens out here, which is also like I miss
yeah. We don't
bagels, I miss bacon, egg, and cheese, I miss Spanish food, man. Fuck. Like that ass. Fuck South Carolina.
like we got two 7-Eleven type stores. So we got Speedway and we got UDF, which is United Dairy Farmers. It's like I was explaining this to somebody before, but the best way I can explain it is you could come there, you could get gas. It's a convenience store, and it's halfway an ice cream parlor. So while you pumping your gas, you could go in there and get you know what I'm saying, 2 scoops of rum raisin or whatever the hell they got in there. Like it's crazy.
Mm. Shit. Also, since we got it, we got talking about the album. We got. I always, whenever I talk to somebody, I always end up going off tangents. Like every time it happens, and then they end up having to go back and go with like that shit happens all the time. But is there any music? Is there any artists that you've been fucking with recently?
uh, damn. What was I listening to? I'm trying to think about what I was listening to while I made this album.
I feel like there hasn't been much obviously since the new year started, and it's been too quiet though. It's been too quiet.
I'm definitely about to come and try to shake shit up with my project. Like, I'm trying to be trending on Twitter off this shit. Like I'm trying to have this shit spread like a wildfire.
Yeah, that shit is good. It's like, I if you would, it's gonna be out on all DSPs,
Yes.
and then you said it's also gonna be physical copies on your website.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
and like this like what I was listening to, I have my all time favorites like EA Sports Center by Gucci. Like that's probably one of my favorite albums of all time. I was definitely listening to that. I just be up here, I'd be high as hell. Like, damn, I'm about to grab this Gucci tape first. It's up
But
here, just like playing around on Photoshop. Just like, damn, like I'm definitely not going to sleep tonight. And then like Kate Bush, the Red Shoes album, really, really, really fire. Um,
okay,
Estero. Estero's first album, Breathe from Another. That's probably my favorite album of all time. Estero. Well, okay, so it was a 2-person band in the late '90s from Canada. Doc McKinney, he ended up going on to working with the Weeknd in the future. And Astero, the
Wow.
group just took the name Astero for the group, but their first album, Breathe from Another, was definitely a huge influence on Instinct, a huge influence on Nova and Lost in the Sun. The first half of Nova, I really tried to tap into that album, like having the whole like sample shit because that Astero album, it's like I don't even know. It's like Portishead, but more rap based, like harder drums. So
Okay.
I found that. I don't even know how I found that album. I was just looking for like chill shit on YouTube, and I was like, this is kind of obscure. I fuck with it. And she
If
ended up going to work with Goody Mob and CeeLo Green. Like it's crazy.
wow, that's also if once your album once your album comes out and you wanted it to get to with could you name 3 artists that you would want to get back to you like after the album drops and you would work with them instantly?
Uh, damn. Like if they found my shit and thought it was tight, uh,
Yeah.
Tyler most definitely. Uh, damn. I'm trying to think. Oh, Solange. Oh my God. If Solange had an outfit, I might think. Um, and then who else? I'm trying to think who else. And like Kanye, but whatever we work on probably end up not gonna come out. So
That's Kanye. I want to like be honest about Kanye, but it's like with him and other artists and newer artists, and it barely ever goes right. You
yeah,
know.
like this project was really inspired by Kanye, most definitely. Like it's kind of buried under there. Like you won't catch it on the first listen, but little nuances and stuff is definitely inspired by Kanye a lot. Like
I'm I lo- I get that. Like I do get that because when I hear it, it's not just like it's not a regular song. Like there's little pieces thrown in, those little snippets that you hear from other things, or there's just random sounds that you'll dead ass hear that's put on it, and it's like I'm like shit. This is not somebody just produced a song, record it, maybe drop ad libs, and then that's it. It's done.
yeah,
Like
like
you
Michigan.
went back to them. You put like you said you put the Chico Bean shit in the beginning.
Yeah,
You
most
know,
definitely. Me and Chico Bean actually have the same birthday, which is crazy. I just found that out.
he's hilarious. He's hilarious when he does the Isley Brothers impersonation. La, da, 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 da. That shit is crazy, bro.
But yeah, I tried to make it feel like a car ride. You know what I'm saying? You're with somebody, so it's like a car ride. You're with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you're in love with, kinda. Y'all kind of falling out of love. This kind of gets to the point. Y'all getting on each other's fucking nerves. And this whole album is really like if you listen to the songs, you will get that vibe. But I wanted it to still be songs you can play separately. Like it doesn't have to be in the album to work.
There's
Like
definitely a couple that's like I could feel like the intro track, like
yeah,
Champagne Nights turn to cigarette mornings.
oh
Like I'm
yeah,
like, damn, this shit really like fuck.
and
Like
like Poland especially, like, and then Michigan, and then Nova, and then the second half of Nova, which that's probably that's another one of my favorites from the project. The second half of that song, like the way I don't know, like that song originally was not gonna be on the album at all. Like I
wow.
was gonna just release it as a Lucy, but I was like, this fits. I can do something with it. And honestly, at this point, when it come out, I hope I don't get like got for example because
That's like that's like obviously nobody casually, not the casual fan will maybe, you never know. The J sample is great. Like um with that, I like short albums. So I like albums under 40 minutes. They always gel and flow the best to me. And another thing I like is when there's only one producer, and that's basically like you. So it's like you doing a collab project with yourself.
I, like I've been I try to provide so many different sounds with this. Like I tried to really show my range. Like I could do some jazzy shit. I could do some hard plug shit. I could do it all pretty much. Like like before I started working on this album for real, I was working on an orchestral project, which is gonna come out someday. But I was really like on my conductor shit with the software. Like I was really about to drop. Like this whole album coming out was honestly like a spur of the moment type thing. I've had the name for this project for years, like since about 2018. Like I had the name for this project. Um, I originally made Michigan when I was in ninth grade, but it was over a different beat and
Wow.
lyrics. But and it was,
That's crazy. That's crazy because like when I wanted to when I first started rapping, the first song, like the first instrumental I ever rapped over, I always wanted to use it and use the same bars. But then it's like you feel like you get so much better after that that it's like to keep a song you said since ninth grade.
the only thing that survived from the ninth grade version is the hook. That's literally it. Everything else is extremely different. But like Michigan, that song holds like a lot of nostalgia for me. Like half my family is from Michigan, and like I visit Detroit a lot. Shout out to Detroit. So my dad's from actually.
We're
Like
gonna we're gonna somehow get BFB the Pac-Man on the remix.
I wanted Shitty Boys on that song so bad, but being a star of an artist is just like damn, like
Yo, Baby Tron rapping about bins over that instrumental is crazy, bro.
like I like the whole idea for Michigan is if it gets enough attention, like I feel like that song could blow up on TikTok. Like I feel like it's one of them. Like
Mm.
if it ever gets to that point, I want to do a mega mix with like a bunch of like Michigan or Flint rappers.
Artists? That's crazy. You
Like
trying to do the didn't Big Sean did some shit like that on his. I mean he got a couple artists, like he didn't get the I wanted him to get what's his name on it, BFB, but he wasn't popping at the time. I wanted Baby Smooth on there, but he wasn't. I mean, he was popping obviously, but he did get Sada. He did get you know,
Royce the 5'9".
he got Drago on it, which was crazy. That was surprising to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad on that song. I'm glad he left. He left Royce the 5'9" for second last and Eminem last, so I know when to cut that shit off. Like, I'm so glad because if Eminem would have been the first verse of that shit or the second or third verse, I'm not listening to that shit, bro. But
Right.
when that beat breaks down into the "We Gon' Make It" sample, oh my god! And Boldy James starts rapping, like, bro, I can't even. That should be having me making the funk flex face the whole verse.
Yeah, like most black people in Detroit don't even listen to Eminem like that. But like all of the songs on the album, like I can relate them back to certain songs that have like similar sounds. Like I'm not gonna say all these were directly copying songs that I like, but I would take elements from songs that I like in all of these. Like Is You Down is okay. I'm just lit on this because don't nobody give a fuck. Is You Down is probably like the most like hip hop shit I could ever do. The sample is from a Squad Up mixtape, a Gutta Gutta freestyle on a Squad Up mixtape.
Wow!
I'm layering
Holy
that shit o-
shit!
I'm layering that shit over hard drums. Like
Squad Up mixtape.
that's probably like the most hip hop shit ever. Like and people are gonna be some people are gonna be like, oh, what's he saying in the intro? Yeah, he's
And
gonna
for you to say that, it's crazy because you fuck with family. Like that's
Family
gritty
is my
ass shit.
favorite
That's
rapper of all
gritty
time.
ass hip hop. That
Oh,
Pharrell
okay.
song is so good.
So let me tell you about how I discovered my favorite rapper of all time, Family. 2016. I failed out of school that year. I was on punishment, so I had to sneak and listen to shit. And like
2016.
yeah, I had to sneak and listen to shit. So I found like Tyler would always be talking about the Neptune shit. Da, da, da. So this is when I really went on my first like Pharrell and Chad like binge. Like I was just listening to all this shit, just absorbing all this knowledge. And I find Rock and Roll by Fam Late, and it blows my mind. The first time, like Rock and Roll, man, bro. And I'm like, does this dude have an album? Does this dude have any other songs? And like I'm looking for other shit. I'm like, damn, like it's nothing here. And I'm searching for all the mixtapes he put out, trying to compile all this shit, like just trying to put a puzzle together of a rap career.
That
Him,
video is crazy.
yeah, and like I was just doing research, like damn, like he's probably one of the most like almost like slept on, like not recognized. He was in a video game. How many rappers do you
Yeah. He
like?
was only in Fight for New York, right? He wasn't in Vendetta.
Yeah, he was in Fight for New York because Def Jam
Yeah.
had dropped him in '05, I think.
Yeah, and Vendetta was. I mean, Fight for New York was definitely 04.
Yeah, like so I was just trying to put the pieces back together and find like trying to compile all his shit, make it into one album so I could just listen to it on my iPhone.
So you made a greatest hits out of his shit.
I know I oh shit, my mic. No, I tried to like make it an actual album and sequence it like an actual album. Like
Okay.
I was really on my like music nerd shit. I
You
actually
was on your A&R, like, fucking executive producer shit. This
yeah,
goes
like
here, like...
and I know for a fact Pharrell's vault is ridiculous. And if I ever meet Family or I ever meet Pharrell one day, they have to play me those songs in HD mastered quality. Like
I feel like everybody that works with Pharrell doesn't have just one or two songs with him. There's just no way. Literally,
Family
like
has like 50.
to hear that, like, him and Mac have a whole project together is nuts. Because it's like they weren't really... I mean, I can't say that they weren't really, but you wouldn't really expect that, at the time,
Yeah.
which they were saying, like, what, like 2015, that you were talking about, like, the Pink Slime EP or some shit like that.
If somebody has a song with Pharrell, that means they have 5 songs with Pharrell.
Yeah, speaking of that, Lil Uzi, like, the leak shit, like, everybody, whoever be on Reddit and all that and shit.
Yeah.
There's been, within the past, like, 4 to 5 months, there's been about, like, 7 Uzi songs that were produced by Pharrell that have leaked and shit, which is nuts.
And honestly, like, I've been kind of nervous to send my, like, I don't know people, because I'm like, bro, if somebody leaks it because it's too good and they don't want to see me win, I'm going to be hurt. Like,
That's crazy. Like, leaks have been different. I mean, I can't say they have been different because shit's been leaking crazy, like, back then, too. Like, you remember, like, the ASAP Rocky album coming out, like, 3 or 4 months before it was supposed to drop and shit like that. Like, nah, back then, full albums were leaking. Full tapes, full projects, demos were leaking. Then I feel like just songs, like 1 or 2 songs will leak and shit like that.
Yeah, like, Flower Boy leaked, like, 2 weeks before it came out.
I remember Good Kid, Mad City. I remember having that a month before. What else? I'm trying to think. Danny's album. I remember Danny Brown's album getting that like a week and a half before. Rodeo was like a couple weeks before. The Life of Pablo. There was like 2 or 3 different versions that leaked before the actual album came out. I remember that the first day. The first day I heard about the leak, I was I had an Android and shit, but I was still fucking with Twitter, so I was seeing, I downloaded it. I downloaded the leak to my phone. I left my Android in the break room and just let that bitch download. And I took a break as soon as it finished downloading. I went outside and I remember because it was like wintertime. It was like February. I remember fucking doing donuts in my first car. It's like a Nissan Altima to Part 2. Like, Part 2 was like the Panda remake.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because that's the first time I ever heard Panda. And Panda was already like almost popping at the time, I feel. Like it was getting that YouTube, there's YouTube popping and then there's just like mainstream popping,
Yeah. like I was like I got on designer early, like even before part two even came out. I think it was like right after Panda came out. Like it was like, oh, Pusha T might sign this artist, and I was like, oh, let me check this out. Yeah, like he had two songs. He had that and Zombie Walk, but um,
Zombie Walk is so fire. Zombie
yeah,
Walk is still fire.
when that project came out, like I was literally like at my
They were
computer, like
gassing the shit out of that. There was like Mike Dean's all over the boards, like Kanye's executive producing. Like,
yeah, look, like when New English came out, that was another time I was on punishment too, because I just failed out. So I had to like sneak and like some of the summer 2016 people talk about. I had to sneak and listen to all them songs on a Windows phone. So I
yeah,
didn't
like
get to have the same experience
I
everybody
got a
else
bitch pregnant around that time, so.
had. Ooh, damn.
I'm definitely gonna get another bitch pregnant and leave her to this Instinct album.
No,
Um,
no,
yeah.
no, don't do that.
um, but yeah,
It,
around that time, like when I first heard Fade with Ty Dolla Sign and Post Malone, I'm like, Jesus, that sample, that deep inside, deep down. That's such a that original song is amazing in itself. Like that's that
mm.
old school like house shit. That I don't know who the original artist is, but I just remember the original song. It's like do 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 boom boom do 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 do. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, like I'm glad Kanye tapped into like the house shit because house music was started in the Midwest.
So good. That old school Chicago house shit.
Yeah,
Amazing.
like
Amazing.
like Chicago and Detroit, they was on that early. Like
Like
that,
you had that's what doom 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 follow me. Follow me. Like, oh my god, why don't you follow me? And then you had oh my god, there's so many shit like old shit like Chicago house shits that were really like going crazy.
yeah, like the Instant album though, like I feel like it's everything I wanted it to be and even more because like I always tell myself this like whenever I'm just like zooted and listen to the album all the way through, I'm like, if I were to show like 8 year old me this album, I would be my favorite artist. Like, like I would be a Chloe Hotline stan if I was like a kid and I was young and I heard this album and it just like blew my head off. Like, whoa, like,
It's great. Like being first growing up, first growing with the artist. Like you, like there's everybody has a few artists to where they were there when it was like early, like when nobody that you knew was fucking with him, or nobody you seen on social, like you followed on social network, was
that's
fucking with
how it
them.
was. That's how it was for me with Uzi, and that's how it was for me with Travis Scott. I was in
That's
I was in grade school and nobody gave a fuck about what music I was listening to. I was an odd teacher. I was a special ed teacher when I was in the fourth grade. I was carving 6 6 in the desk. I was doing all the little rebellious shit and nobody cared.
they
Because
was
the nigga 10 years
playing. They was playing Yonkers on Hot 97.
old.
Like that shit. Hearing that when I was younger was like, the fuck? Like what? They wouldn't do that shit now, but
Yeah, they
imagine
say
them playing Earthquake. Nah, they. I feel like they play Earthquake on the radio before.
Earthquake went platinum. That's a radio record.
Yeah, that is one of them. That is one of them. My favorite song off Igor is probably. Which one was it? Mm, the one I think I'm falling in love.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
I get. I don't like. This is again. I don't like comparing artists, but like that you really like got that sound where it's not even experimenting, like you're already molding that shit, like that shit already sounds perfected, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could tell when somebody's experimenting with a sound, like when Vic Mensa does a fucking pop album. You
Ooh,
feel me? I mean a
the
punk
first
rock
thing,
album, you know, you could tell when somebody's just learning how to do that shit. When you hear this is like, damn, like how long you been fucking doing? Like how long you been doing this shit? And when they hear this, they're gonna be like, damn, she's been working since she was 7, 6 years old. Like,
like it's and like I didn't got like little like articles and shit, like local articles and shit And people be asking me, people who I went to middle school with, people whoever I went to high school with, was making me like, "Oh, I'm trying to be up like you. How did you do it?" I'm like, man, I just made good music. I stayed consistent. Another thing that I want to talk about, I don't feel like people talk about this enough. Just cause, like, you shouldn't. I'm aiming at Spotify's head with this one. Just because the artist is like LGBT or whatever, you shouldn't put them on playlists with other queer artists if they don't sound together. If there's no correlation
Fuck.
with the music. If
I
there's
get
no
that.
if there's no correlation with the music, then I shouldn't be on the same playlist as a fucking indie band. Like I should be on like Rap Caviar, like the alternative R&B playlist, or like CST, like the Midwest playlist. I guess I should be on something. Like I don't want niggas to.
like like the first track. I mean, not the first track. Mad in '08. Like I
Yeah.
could hear that being grouped under. How would you if you had to say that was a genre, just that song, and then your whole album? What would you put that as?
Uh, that song is an R&B song, but
Okay.
the whole album, I just put that shit as pop because it's pop.
Mans was spitting on there though. Mans was spitting on there. I'm not gonna cap.
Yeah, I just decided to make this shit like pop because I am like I said on Michigan. Um, I said fuck Reed. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want that white man to get no credit. I said fuck bitch. This the new pop. Like I'm trying to show you like this is pop music now. I am pop music. Like this is what should be. You know what I'm saying? This is
Oh,
what
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not gonna say his name.
yeah. Like this is what music should be in this decade. Like it should be forward thinking. It should be DIY. Like it's getting to a point where all the shit you hear in H&M or like wherever the fuck the store, that is like top 100 radio shit. And it's boring. It's bland. I'm trying
It's
to come and
terrible.
shake things up. Like I'm not saying that I'm a revolutionary artist or none of that. I just want to shake shit up. I want to take the throne. I want to show people that somebody, you know what I'm saying, like me with the right support and with talent, first of all, because a lot of these motherfuckers out here suck. I could really do this shit. Like I be seeing the most basic like clone people, like the most basic rappers, the most basic clone type artists get signed and get the support, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
You
You
got
know, but
people like fucking. You got people like. Damn, I'm drawing a blank right now. But keep going, keep going, keep going.
like you kind of got to charge that to the game at the end of the day. Like like maybe I don't know, maybe I'm just not connecting well with people or something, or maybe I just don't have the look. I feel like for all intents and purposes, at the end of the day, I feel like I could really be like up there one day. Like I could be like a Solange level, like really well respected, you know what I'm saying? Loved by a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Music enjoyed by a lot of people. Like can't say anything, you can't say shit bad about me besides like, oh, I might
And
be a little confident. Like,
and with that, it's like the best. Another part of a great successful artist is they unproblematic.
right.
Like you just be sticking to yourself. You be doing your own shit. A lot of these people gotta start some shit or create some shit or make up some shit to for an album rollout
Yeah, like
nowadays. You know.
I wanted like I want everything to be organic. Like I don't like I know for a fact like this project is gonna give me cosigns from somebody with some type of status somewhere. Like this project like is definitely gonna reach new heights for me. I know that for a fact, but I'm trying to get to a point where I can actually, you know what I'm saying, one, survive off music, and two, not necessarily be big, but be like a well known act and be, you know what I'm saying, people know me. I want to be underrated. I want to be known. I want to be respected by big people and small people. You feel me?
And with that, it's like you multi-dimensional. Like you have range. You not at this point. You've been doing it for 12 years. So when you do eventually blow up, nobody's gonna be able to say like, oh, this person was ghostwriting or blah. This like other shit that happens with main artists. You know,
Right,
since you've been doing this shit, everything's been you. You know.
right. Like can't nobody can really say anything to me or try to if you try to discredit me, like I put the work in most definitely. Like that's you're just on some hater shit. Like a lot of motherfuckers on KTT will see a thread about me and be like, yeah, this is cool, but or I didn't really like da 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 or like just over critiquing it, like over analyzing it. Some motherfuckers just come out and just say I suck. Like a lot of motherfuckers was calling that nigga trash. You feel me? A lot of people are like, oh, why do you get to promote your music in the music section, but when I make a thread, it gets moved? Because when it comes to music promotion, when it comes to making music, I've been around. Like I built up a platform on KTC2. Like I have almost 200 followers, you know, and that's where I've been. Like ever since about a year ago, that's where I've been promoting my music at. You know,
Yeah.
so
I feel
I'm
like
not.
I'm too like I feel like it's been too far in the KTT for me to even fuck with that at this point.
Like it's KTT is it's a male dominated site, most definitely, and it's a like it has ups and downs. You know, like sometimes it's really like a good community space. Other times it's motherfucking incel mania. Um,
Twitter,
but
we they love that on Twitter too.
yeah, just like people saying nasty shit about women, people saying nasty shit about Meg Thee Stallion on KTT, especially
She don't
people
deserve none of that shit, yo. For real.
people saying like violently like nasty, harmful, and mean shit about women and sometimes black women. I'm just like, yo, fuck wrong with you? Who raised y'all?
hmm That's like I don't like there's artists that I don't wanna slander. Like that do get a lot of flack, like SGP be getting that shit. I mean, sometimes he do bring it upon him. I mean, most of the time he bring it upon himself. Like Iggy, Azalea Banks,
I'm
shit
not.
like that.
I'm not gonna discredit nobody's work unless it's
Yeah,
R. Because you know, fuck R. Kelly though. But
it's like
uh,
they've been through shit. People act like they just got crazy out of nowhere.
yeah, like
Something
I'm
must
not.
have happened traumatic in their lifetime recently, or since they've been young that they never got to talk about, or you never know and shit.
I think SGP has abandonment issues. Honestly,
Mm, I feel like this has always been my take. Like with ASAP Mob and Raider Clan, it's like Rocky, like they all blew up at a point, and then Rocky outshined all of them. But then like SGP blew up, but all of Raider Clan outshined him
yeah, like
eventually.
yeah, because right, like Kurt had his own movement by the time he decided to go link up with Rocky. Like Rated
Mm-hmm.
Clan, like Denzel Curry had dropped his tape. Metro Zoo was a thing. Like
Xavier Wolf and shit like that.
he already had a mini
Nell.
record label by the time he decided to go link up with ASAP. We had what? Deep Purple tape, and that's it.
Man, they had ASAP like it was like Ferg and Rocky, and then they started like all of them started rapping after that. They got
Yeah,
everybody else to rap. They had the Lords Never Worry tape and shit like that.
yeah,
Good.
like
I mean, it's all right. Like ASAP, ASAP, like I don't know. I can't even describe because none of them like single handedly didn't go crazy like they were supposed to.
yeah,
Nas, like I like Nas. I thought Nas was fire. Like that Trillmatic song that dropped with Method Man in like 2013. I was like, fuck, he's gonna be the fucking the Joey Badass of the group. I'm fucking with it. And
yeah.
then
That's
Ferg,
so
I was like, Ferg Trap Lord was such a good debut album. And then I'm like, damn, what really like I can't say that like Yams played an effect on them, but nowadays it's just they're all. I don't even know what the fuck Rocky elbow deep in Rihanna right now. He don't give a fuck about music.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say I wouldn't say like Rocky is in the twilight of his career, but I don't know. Like this next project is either gonna do phenomenal or just okay. He's just gonna chill back. You
From the
know.
from the songs that have leaked out that I've heard, there's some good ones, and then there's some that are like, fuck, this is gonna be testing part two. Testing was okay. Like the kids turned out fine is amazing. You have 143rd, which was my favorite off the shit. There's testing was I can't even give testing a review after I've listened to it probably like 5 times in full since it dropped. But I can't compare it to At Long Last ASAP because I love that shit so much. And then the one before that, I loved it at the time, but it's gonna age like milk because there's like Skrillex songs and shit on there, and shit on there. And then the first tape, like Rocky's first tape, will always be classic to me. Like I could always run back, live, love ASAP.
Yeah. I'll admit, I've never been like an ASAP Rocky fan like that because, like, of course, I had my Space Ghost Perp B&B phase, like, so I was kind of like, I'm fucking no fucking ASAP, you know, just being a
I
kid.
tried to fuck with both of them. I tried to fuck with both of them, and then I've seen that like I don't know, like it's confusing when you try talking to a rapper, they'll be like, "Oh, you know, I don't want to instigate. I don't like instigating beef over the net. Like a lot of people do that with rappers.
Yeah, that's probably why this ASAP and Perp shit is never gonna end.
Perp is just that video of Perp on live. This is random. But that video of him on live where he's like swiping his card in that shit, and it just gets declined. I'm like, yo. But somebody said that he was selling beats for like McChickens and shit. I
Yeah,
was like, wow, this is wild.
I bought a beat from him for $20 when I was 16. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely like he'll have a twin peak. Pin tweet that says $20 selling beats to all the broke niggas. Like I mean, if that's what he likes to do. You know.
Where is he getting all of these emails to set up Twitter accounts?
I don't
That
know.
shit is nuts. Like he must have had like 70 accounts since Twitter since he first got on Twitter.
Yeah, he's had 20 something.
You remember when he was beefing with that one little white boy? His name was like Lil Shark or some shit.
Yeah, rest in peace, Lil Shark. By the way.
What? Rest in peace, Lil Shark.
Yeah, he passed.
What? That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, and Perk was on Twitter saying some fucked up things about that young man, to say the least.
Speaking of young rappers, rest in peace, Baby CEO.
Yeah.
I fuck with Baby CEO.
Like
And
his past
what's his name from South Carolina?
18
Fuck.
Vino.
Yep, 18 Vino. He was in there's this YouTuber that I fuck with. His name is Pooty. He was putting a lot of 18 Vino songs in his videos. And I'll see like in the YouTube comments, what song was this? What song was this? What song was this? That was also crazy to hear too.
It's like in the past, well, not this past week, but literally in a week, I think four artists passed. You know
Six
what I'm saying?
Dogs.
Six
Um,
Dogs, rest in peace, Sophie, 18 Vino, Baby CEO, like we're all around the same time, and
the
that
Baby
really,
CEO thing is crazy because he ended up apparently he got killed by his best friend or one of the people in his friend group,
yeah,
which is wild.
yeah, like all those people, like I was bumping their music and watching their career, and it's just like fuck, like that's just hard. And then you're thinking about, especially I'm an artist, I'm thinking like, damn, like I could like go at any moment.
Like Baby
So
CEO, he was doing his shit. Like that's how I felt about like Jimmy Wapple. Like Jimmy Wapple just never got there, and it makes me so sad. Like
yeah,
he was just about to get there, and then And then unfortunately that shit happened. Like I feel like he would have been he would have been like a key Glock or some shit. Like he would have just been around, just dropping his shit.
Yeah, like a lot of that, a lot of that shit is just like, damn, bro. Like you're thinking about you being, I'm thinking about me being an artist. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I know for a fact I gotta pop my shit while I can, because looking at statistics, I'm not supposed to live that long. Like Black Panther to live until 35 at the most. You know what I'm saying? So I got that by statistics, that means my life is halfway over. So I gotta pop my shit while I can on whatever platform I got and show people that I stand for some shit with my music and my album Instinct.
Yeah, I eat too much rice, so I'm gonna be fucking. I don't even know what I'm gonna be fucking. I don't know what Banks doing. Banks fucking. um, shit. Before we
What's up? I'm right here.
before we get out of here, it's Black History Month. I just want to give praise where it's due. Bianca Belair, we love you. The Queen won the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely.
I didn't care about Edge winning, to be honest. I was so happy about Bianca Belair winning. I just didn't even give a fuck about the rest of the night. That shit almost had me in tears. Like she really wanted that shit. She like predicted it when she first started. Like that was just amazing for that to happen. You know, it it was just as good, if not better, than Kofi's win at WrestleMania 35.
No, absolutely. It's up there. So, I mean, she going to WrestleMania and we presume that she's having a match with Bianca. So, yeah, turn that up. I'm gonna be professional right now, but how I feel
The Queen,
unprofessional wise.
the Rihanna of WWE.
Man, it's up there. She definitely has potential to be on par with Rihanna far as taking one aspect of what you started and then taking it to a whole nother level. Like this is something that we never seen before. And if it happens the way I think it's going to happen, she's going to be a star outside of just WWE and pro wrestling as a whole. She could transcend the whole business if she wanted to, and they let her to do that.
Shit, I could see her having the Rock career. Now that we're talking about it, I could see her branching out into movies and shit like that. She's natural. She's a natural to only be in to be signed like to be wrestling for 2 years. What is it? 2 or 3 years she started, and to
Hmm.
be at this level, like that shit is really unheard of if you think about it. You know, but
Absolutely.
shit. Shout out Bianca Belair. Hopefully, she get that title at Mania. They're saying her versus Sasha Banks. I'd be fine if it was like an Asuka situation, or if Charlotte gets it from Asuka at the time, have her face Asuka, and watch Asuka because Asuka's mid. You know,
Look, my blood pressure is boiling. That's all I can say.
um, and we smoking on Screech Pack. That shit is hitting lovely.
Yo,
That shit is hitting lovely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
episode 28, we had Chloe. First artist. First artist. I feel like this I could count this as my first interview. I always wanted to really interview artists, but I'm not calculated enough to write down questions and, do all that other what made you get into music? When did you really like start and all that other like corny shit? Like I like just having a conversation, and I felt like that was a great conversation. Whoever's listening to this will get to know you. Hopefully look you up, listen to your music, enjoy it. The
For
album
real.
comes out Instinct February 26th.
February
Um,
26th. Damn. What else?
we're gonna
Oh
have you
yeah,
plug your shit, yes sir.
February 26th. There is Instinct merch out. We got the shirts up. You got the shirts up. Yeah. Wait. Let me start this shit over. Okay. Yeah. Instinct. I've been smoking. Okay.
Yeah, nah.
Instinct out February 26th. We got the Instinct t-shirts up right now on Counterfeit.us. Counterfeit Industries is my clothing brand, which we will be on pause until the springtime. You know, we gotta get some funds from the album, make some more clothes. Yeah, shout out to Nico, shout out to Banks for having me on here. Avid listener of the pod, so you know, I feel like I'm jumping into the TV when I'm on this shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah.
this is great. I'm glad that we linked up. You know, I wanted to do it a couple days before but this is even better. This gives people time to get into your music and look your shit up, and
I'm trying
you
to
know,
build some trying to build up a hype train, like for real. Like on the day it drops, I don't give a fuck who else is coming out. I don't care. I want people to be talking about my shit on the timeline.
I I fuck with that. You know, we'll have I'll be tweeting the day it drops. I'll be tweeting a link. I'll put that shit on my IG story. You know the vibes. Our podcast sort of will be posting. You know, we gotta
Absolutely.
support. You gotta support the homie. You know.
For real.
Shit, shout out to Chloe Hotline. Do you
One
want to link your
one
socials and shit like that?
oh, I'm at Chloe Hotline on Twitter, at Chloe Hotline on Instagram, at Counterfeit with no T. So Counterfeit on Twitter, at counterfeit.us on Instagram. Shout out Malik also, which is my brother, and he's the co-owner of the brand. He helps with design consulting and all that.
That's fire. That's fire.
Black excellence.
Absolutely.
You love to see it. Before I outro myself, I want to give some shine to since it's Black History Month, all the Black entertainers and content creators. All the Black podcasters, Black owned podcast networks. Shout out to Hoops and Brews. Shout out to Random Acts. Shout out to Barber's
Absolutely.
Chair. Shout out Black Announce Table. Shout out Black Wrestling Pod. Shout out Guessing from the Stands. Shout out First Black Champ. Shout out all of them. If I'm
Black
missing anybody,
Black Wrestling Podcast, Black Announce Table, Public
Mm,
Enemies.
yes, sir. We had to get all of them because really, without some of these pods, without Hoops and Brews and Random Acts, I wouldn't even be doing this shit. I'm not going to cap to you. They really made me want to get my really step into this shit. You know, shout out to them. It's your boy at Nico still Apex. At Nico Stay Apex on Instagram. Don't follow me because I'm ugly. Subscribe to the Struggle for Success Network YouTube, and subscribe to the Struggle for Success podcast at SFS Podcast Net. And homie Banks.
Oh yeah, as always, follow me at Banks No Rest too on IG and Twitter. See what I'm working on over there. I mean, on just my socials in general.
On
Uh,
everything, this man working on. He's Stephen A. Smith.
right. I just need some Stephen A. Smith bread, but time
You have
soon we
to.
all gonna win.
You the Barry Gordy of the Struggle for Success Network.
Damn, yeah, that's a high honor. I don't know if I'm there yet, but we're gonna keep working, man. Shouts out to Chloe for coming through. We definitely gonna have you on again. Go buy that merch. I'm gonna buy some merch. Go buy the music. If you stream it through Tidal only. Not stream it through Spotify and Apple. We Tidal gang.
Title do give that crazy percentage. Your Twitter finna be back, in a couple days. So
Yeah, during Super Bowl.
during Super Bowl, shit.
Yes. What's up?
Super Bowl. We not getting nothing new. We not getting no new trailers, no new none of that shit for the Super Bowl, which is disappointing. I
We
mean,
might.
it's not gonna be as much. I really want to see a Space Jam 2 trailer or something along the lines of that.
We might. We'll see how things work out, but apparently they might have a couple things.
Shout out LeBron. He be putting bitches in their place. He said that bitch was a steroid looking in the face bitch. Like, he told that bitch shut the fuck up. He told her sit down. And then after the game was over, he said, you know what? They shouldn't have kicked them out. I really like the energy that they're bringing to the game that we haven't had in a while. This man took the high road. This man said, you know what? I have sponsors, so I'm not finna drag your ass through the mud in front of millions of people watching. So you just look like the child, even though you look 60 in the face. Shout to
built like
LeBron.
she's
Yeah,
200 years old. That bitch is built like a T-Rex.
Yeah, that bitch, she got a Wendy Williams body trying to talk shit. Come on.
Omar Records.
Don't make me call up. LeBron finna call up Savannah, bro. She finna get the popping on that bitch. What didn't Rajon Rondo let his wife beat up a bitch in the parking lot on video? That shit was great.
Legend.
That shit was great. First he was in the middle of it, and then he literally all you see is him in the video put his hands up, and he turns around and his wife just start beating this bitch up, yo. That's the energy. Like, if you really want to fuck, if you think that you should be fucking with NBA athlete or any type of athlete, like outside of what they're doing, outside just publicly, like you deserve whatever's coming to you. You know, that's people. Those are people that are worth millions and billions of dollars and shit like that. You know.
Exactly.
But with that, episode 28. Yes, sir. We out.
Peace.